Hey guys, Gizmo here from Gizmo's Game Lounge. It's day 22, fancy scarf time. Guess what? It's almost Christmas. And for me, it's almost even closer to Christmas because we're doing Christmas a little bit early. As a matter of fact, as you're watching this right now, there's a good chance I'm either still on the road or I've just arrived at my family's place. So let's talk about that side of the family. Now, if you've been following all of these Vlogmases, you'll notice that a few days ago I talked briefly about, how I grew up in a single parent household and, about my mother and my father briefly, mostly about my mother. And that was because until I was 30 years old, I never met my father. There's many reasons for that, but one of the biggest one was that, well, we didn't know where each other lived or how to get a hold of each other. So it basically took about 3 years to connect up. And then by the time we did, we're like, this is awesome. Holy cow, this is awesome. And I'm going to be the first person to be completely honest here. Going to meet my father, my brothers, their wives, my stepmom, and then my grandparents on that side was one of the most terrifying experiences of my life. My entire life, I always had it in my head of, maybe what he sounded like, what did he look like, hoping I would like them, I don't know if they're going to like me, what the deal is, how everything works, and all that. So in October, we went and we met up for the first time, and it was absolutely amazing. It was super, super awkward and super nerve wracking for all of about 3 seconds. And then I manned up and got out of the car and went and got the biggest bear hug I think I've ever got in my life. And that was amazing. It's funny being 30 years old and meeting your dad for the first time. It really is. It's also really funny to have two brothers that are younger than you when you were the baby your whole life. But when you now meeting them that first time, like I said, it was absolutely terrifying until I got out. And then as soon as I got out, it was scary. But not a bad scary. It was a good scary because I was around four males that looked like me at different ages, talked like me, and acted like me. Keep in mind, very important, never met each other, only had one phone conversation prior to this between all of them, and then we meet and our mannerisms are the same. We've got little family traits on our body, the way our hair grows, the way our toes look, and hairlines and things like that. It's crazy. And the appearance you kind of expect because, DNA, okay, yeah, you're gonna look like somebody in your family. That makes sense. But to be around people with the same humor and the way they laugh is the way I laugh, the way I hold my arms like this when I'm just sitting around is the way they do. Falling asleep with my arm like this on the couch, they do it too. I mean, there's so many little weird things, and it's kind of hard to explain in a way because it's so weird meeting people you've never been around in your entire life that are just like you. And that's what it was like. But there was one big advantage to them being just like me. Obviously we get along. That makes, perfect sense. But the huge advantage was it took absolutely all of the awkwardness away. Because it just immediately, it felt like home, it felt right. And, who knows what happens in the future. As like I said at the very beginning, right now, as we speak, I'm either almost there or I'm there right now, sitting down, having a very good time with my father's side of the family, and it's a blast. So, guys, tell me, are any of you out there? Did any of you meet your parents later in life? You know, how'd it go for you? Was it a pleasant experience for you? Was it not? Because I'll be honest, going into it, I was terrified that it may not be. We may not click. There may be something there, you don't know going into it. And that's a scary thing to have in the back of your mind. But once it's over, it's so worth it. So until then, guys, I'll see you in about 24 hours.